Yay! Hi everybody, it's me, MattHawes of the Happy Show, and I'm here with the next segment of The Happy Story.
Welcome to.
Hey, Yoshi, this is Happy Show.
Welcome to the Happy Show.
Let's go on right now. Right. Woo-hoo! Yeah! I obtained a puppet. It was Happy the Happy Show puppet. And I deemed him happy right off the bat, pretty much, as I recall. Just because I thought, well, it's the Happy Show. Happy makes a good name for somebody who looked as happy as this puppet. And, yeah, it's an interesting bit of trivia for a lot of people who don't realize. A lot of people will think the show is named after the puppet who came on, and after he was introduced. A lot of people watch it after that point. But no, he wasn't. The show wasn't named for him. He was named for the show, more or less. And so we had that character, and I started to introduce other characters. I had this. I basically went around like some dollar stores and stuff like that and found some cheap puppets. And I also had some stuff here at my comic shop. I had a Wonder Woman action figure from it was 1970s Amigo figure based off the Linda Carter version of the character from the popular TV show in the 70s. And she wasn't a very sellable item because she had a leg that was broken. Actually, had been glued in place with super glue. So she had a bum leg, basically, is what I'm saying. And so she would have been a hard sell, kind of, at the shop. And I thought, well, why don't I recruit that character onto the show? But of course, I wasn't going to call Wonder Woman or Diana, or something like that. I thought, well. But as a nod to the fact that it was actually a Wonder Woman doll, I decided to call her Wondy. And then, being in the odd spirit of the show, whenever I had moments of the show where we had filmed bits and there was still some time to fill within that half hour, I would have it filled by having her come on and in effect dance to a song. Now, keep in mind, of course, it's an animated object to begin with. And I didn't use stop motion. I just kind of did the real cheesy way of just bopping the figure up where you can't see my hand quite, and then filming her feet from the bottom where you can't see my hand holding her from the top, that sort of thing. And the fact that she had a bum leg too, kind of was funny. I mean, nobody ever knew that, or nobody still knows that whenever they watch the show. But it's a dancer with a bum leg. Wondy the Time Show, or the Time Killer Dancer is what she's called, the Time Killer, because she's just killing time between segments and stuff to fill up the show's length. And then I just started calling her Wondy the Happy Show Dancer, and start having her just dance to the most odd songs. Back in those early, more freewheeling days of the Happy Show, which is still pretty freewheeling, but back in those days, public access around here not being as tight on copyright issues, I didn't have to worry about some of the songs I use. If I was to present some of these songs today, technically I would have to redo the music that was being used during those segments because of copyright laws. So that takes away some of the fun. Those copyright laws, I respect the fact of protecting copyrights, but whenever it's done for something that's not really a commercial project, and nobody's really being, robbed of any money or income by it, I'd be happy to put the copyright notice on the programs, but it's just kind of one of those things that bums you out, because it's like you have these fun ideals, and you're not expecting to make money, you just want to have fun, and copyright things get in the way. But that's another issue, but it does tie into the Happy Show history, so we'll be talking about that in one of my later segments about this, about the copyright thing, that is. But at this time, that's what she was. She was the Time Killer Dancer, later to be known as the Wondy the Happy Show Dancer. And so she was a regular character. And at that point, it was mostly her and Happy that showed up on the show. There's some other characters, one in particular, Crazy Cat Pete, which would come up even a little bit later, that would would rival Happy as probably the most popular character on the Happy show for the regular viewers. And Happy, I decided with Happy that he was going to be a very bad comedian. He's going to tell horrible jokes. Now, a lot of people will be thinking, if they follow me at all, will say, Matt, wait a minute, Happy can't tell jokes, he doesn't speak. Is that the joke? He didn't speak? No, Happy did speak. He spoke one time on the show, and it will never, ever, ever be aired again. Not even on this video. Because I don't want to ruin the mystique. What happened, though, is that Happy had, when I did this voice, basically what I'd done is, now, I still had a high-8 camera. I still had a very, actually it's a good editing program named Pinnacle, but I had an old computer that really couldn't handle Pinnacle, and the version of Pinnacle I had at that time was pretty unstable with with the computer operating system I was using, and I had issues with it. So I also was still learning how to edit videos and such. And so I had this whole roundabout way of how I had to record this. But basically, and I'm not a ventriloquist, let me explain. If you notice something on the Happy Show, you'll notice that really, you never see any puppets talking while I'm holding them. And the more interesting for those people who want to pay attention is the fact that outside of, Crazy Cat Pete, most of the puppets don't say a word. Most of the puppets are silent. Happy's the one that gets noticed the most as being silent, but really, Wondy doesn't talk, Kooky the Koala doesn't talk, Orangutan doesn't talk, Little Teddy doesn't talk, Ducky just goes quack quack. But at this time, though, I wasn't a ventriloquist, I'm still not a ventriloquist, and I never attempted to be, so I thought, well, in order to make Happy talk, I would have to go like this, out of camera angle, have Happy up there, like I do with Crazy Cat Pete, but Happy's a much bigger puppet than Crazy Cat Pete. So Crazy Cat Pete, I could just be off to the side more comfortably and do him. I hope I'm not spoiling any of secrets that I'm actually controlling those puppets. But the Happy I had to do it out of frame, so I had to kind of go low, which was uncomfortable. The guy hold the thing up within camera view. Meanwhile, again, I'm new to editing, and my computer isn't the best with handling the editing to begin with, and audio and all that. Now, I'm recording my voice as the character of Happy, and then I'm manipulating it with an editing audio editor to kind of change the pitch and everything for the character. And so I'm doing that, but then I'm playing it back live through speakers, live through my computer speakers while I'm recording on a high-8 camera. So I'm down here, he's up there, and he's yakking away and mouthing to whatever words are coming out, whatever I'm saying, as him through the speakers from the computer speakers, and being taped live that way. And it was really, really bad. And I hated it. I hated it. And I thought, you know what? This puppet doesn't need to talk. He will become the mostly mute puppet. Mostly mute because he did talk once. He's not really mute. But he will never, ever speak again. And so that was it. I established Happy now as a new character, but no longer was he going to be the bad comedian. In fact, I really didn't know what role he was going to play at that point, what new thing I could do for the character. And then something happened to the Happy Show that basically changed the destiny and the shape and the format even more so. That is, my co-host Robert decided he was bored and wanted to move on. And then he was replaced by a puppet. And we'll continue the story of how Happy becomes co-host of the Happy Show in the next video segment of The Happy Story. Yay!